based on the purpose of the study. For example, if we have 100 population, but we would like to conduct, we would like to know understanding about something from the students, then we can exclude others and select our sampling from only students, those who are students. Quota sampling. If we have students, teachers, then others, professionals, bankers, farmers, these 5 groups among this 100 population, then if we select 5% quota, 5% reserved seat for teachers, 2% reserved seat for students, 10% reserved seat for the bankers, 5% reserved for the farmers, then these types of predetermination criteria could be termed as quota sampling. Then convenience sampling. If we have 100 population, but we will collect data from the population nearby according to our convenience, then it could be termed as convenience sampling. Factor to determine sample size. What factors are influencing sample size determination process? Number 1, homogeneity and heterogeneity of the population. Before go for any sample determination, sample size determination, we would like to classify, we would like to divide the total population based on their homogeneous and heterogeneous criteria. Then number of classes proposed. How many classes are there in the population? These factors influence. For example, the farmers, the bankers, the teachers, the students, these are the different classes of the population we have among those 100. But each class, if we need each class's representation, then this classes is an influential factor to determine the sampling. Nature of the study. If it is a scientific study, then our sample size should be one type. If it is a small study or humanitarian study, the sample size will be another one. And if it is useful for practical in industry, any field, any industrial field, then it should be determined. Then standard of the accuracy, how much accurate result we want will be an influential factor in the study. If we allow 5% error, then the sample size should be less. If we would like to allow 2% error, then the sample size should be bigger. If we would like to allow only 1% error, the sample size should be much bigger. If we would like to ensure 100% accuracy, then the sample size will be much bigger. Then types of sampling. What types of sampling we selected? It will determine the number of population, sample size. Then nature of the units. We have several statistical equations, several statistical tools to determine the sample. Most popular equation is number of sample n root n equal to 1.96 into standard deviation divided by precision. So this is a widely used equation to determine the sample. Here, if 5% error is allowed and 95% accuracy, 99 to 99% accuracy, then the sample size would be 383. So this should be determined as per what accuracy we want. Define the steps in sampling process. There are 7 steps to determine the sample of a study. Step 1 is define the population. Who are your population? And in the population, you have to determine the population element, sampling units, time you have, and how extent you can go for. So these factors will define your population properly. Then after defining the population, prepare to collect the sampling frame. Because you have enormous population, but you don't have any written list in your hand, it will not work. So second step is to list down your population. Does adequately cover the population to be surveyed? How complete is the frame? Is it accurate? Is it there any duplication or anybody left behind? and how convenient it is to use, and it is radically accessible or not. Is it arranged or a way suitable for sampling? So all these questions should be considered before determining your sample frame. Then after preparing sample frame, we have to select the sampling unit, select the sampling method, determine the sample size as per your selected statistical tool, then fix up the sampling plan and select your sample size or sample. So these are the steps for sampling. In this stage, we would like to define the data collection and analysis process, the methods of data collection, tools and instruments used in data collection, data management, and data analysis. So this is the most important part of your research, because after determining the sample frame and sample size, your most important task is data collection. So methods of data collection should be determined first. And in the data collection, one or more particular method could be used. Qualitative approach aimed to address how and why, these two questions. And quantitative approach on how much and what, this question. So based on your approaches of research, data collection method could be selected. So major data collection methods are observation, just to observe the respondent without discussing anything with the response. In sometimes it is not possible to discuss or take interview of the respondent. For example, you would like to know the behavioral pattern of the tigers in Sundarban. Then obviously you will not go for a discussion with the tigers in the Sundarban. It is not possible. In such case, to understand the behavioral pattern of the tigers in Sundarban, we have to go for observation. Not only human observation, you may have considered instrumental observation through CC cameras and others. An interview. Taking interview is one of the best methods to collect data from your respondent if it is convenient, if it is possible. Then participatory rural appraisal, PRA, is another method of collecting social science data from the illiterate group of respondents or a semi-literate group of respondents. So this PRA could be a best method for collecting data. Then rapid rural appraisal, RRA. It is another method of collecting social science data from a particular group of people. Then obviously for the educated, higher educated respondents, the focus group discussion could be a best method for collecting data. In the focus group discussion, we will select stakeholders for 20 to 25 in a room. Then we'll discuss each and every questions of your study. Then we'll collect information, or we'll collect opinion from each of the respondents. So focus group discussion or FGD has a guideline, and in the FGD method, we can collect data from a group of people at a time. So this is one popular method of data collection. Then role play. Just you have selected your sample and you give them some role to play and how they are performing. This will reflect their behavior, their personality, their level of understanding about something. So role play is another way of data collection. Reflective diary. It is just collecting the information from your respondents' previous, for example, biography, for example, diary writing, or any other sources. And these are the sources, also very great source of data collection. Concept map. For example, if you would like to determine problems of a rural village, then please give your sample, respondent, to draw the map of that village and identify what are the development needs and what are the development gaps of that particular village. So this is also a very important, very essential or very useful methods of data collection. Then obviously questionnaire survey is another great and